See this? This is called a trash mic, okay? And I'm changing it today. It's $15 piece. Now this is a proper mic. This costs like $80. That's how cool it is. That's how straight my hair is. Jeez, that's... Alright, this is going to be a lot different to what I normally do, because I normally don't do top 10s, I do a bunch of skits and stuff, but I really wanted to talk about this because it's just been on my mind for so long, and I have to get this off my chest. Today we're going to be talking about the top 5 best horror games of Roblox, because 9 times out of 10, all Roblox games are bad, and 1 time out of 10, you might actually find a good one, and when you do find a good one, then you play it for like 30 minutes. Because that's just how good it is. You don't need a long game for it to be good. But yeah, Roblox is kind of bad, so I just thought I'd bring this here because Roblox horror games are one of the things that just make Roblox just a better in general. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, for my number spot on this list, that happens to be the 5th one, I'm going to have to go with a game called Aperiphobia. This game was released pretty much out of nowhere and became famous because of the success of a small horror short, The Backrooms Found Footage. It blew up on YouTube, and because of the popularity of the Backrooms, this game is pretty amazing. I mean, it's not the best horror game in the world, especially for Roblox standards. But that is it, considering my number 5 spot, it's still pretty amazing. And it's a solid choice to play, and I would recommend it. Basically, you play as this guy in the horror short who got taken to the Backrooms, yada 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 yada. If you want a solid Backrooms game, this isn't some of the trash that we have now, but I would play this game. There's night vision cameras, you're running away from monsters, all of the basic stuff. And because Aperiphobia is a constant chase, it really makes the game extremely fun and thrilling. This game takes you into the backrooms from one floor to the next one to the next one, and even introduce some different floors that haven't been introduced in the original series yet. Sadly, this game is a buggy mess. Like, seriously, it's so trash. Like, it's only in the pre-alpha, and there are tons of bugs in this game. Sometimes enemies are just so less threatening because they get stuck on objects, and the animations for enemies aren't even that good looking as well. The reason I'm even putting this on this list is because of potential. I know, it's stupid unfair, and I couldn't care less. This game has tons of potential, the creator loves it, I love this game, and I really want to see it thrive in the future. So until that happens, it's gonna stay in my number 5 spot. For my number 4 spot, I'm going to go with a game called SCP-3008. This game is extremely refined and has a breath of fresh air for Roblox horror games. So if you didn't know, SCP-3008 is about being trapped in an IKEA for seemingly forever. But things are a bit different. Like, all the enemies are deformed, they don't even have faces, some of them don't even have any limbs. It's really weird. During the store hours, when the lights are on, the player's job is to find random furniture and food so that they can survive and build structures. When the almost infinite IKEA closes, employees will start to attack you as if they were hardwired to try and kill you. As said before, you're supposed to build structures and get out of range of enemies. In this game, anything can be picked up and placed without the worry of the building's structural integrity depleting. So, the building is a lot like Minecraft. Unlike Aperiphobia, there really isn't any objective to SCP-3008. Just keep building, find food, survive until the lights turn back on, and you just keep doing this over and over again. This makes the game kind of boring, but at the same time, it's extremely scary. Like, there's this countdown to, like, when the lights will turn off and turn back on, and nothing beats this feeling of that sound that plays whenever you realize that you're stupid far away from your mega structure, and there's nothing but a bunch of enemies headed your way, and you have nothing to defend yourself. But after playing for a little while, the enemies don't become as scary as they were, and none of the forms they take are as freaky as they were when you first saw them, especially using Roblox models. Because of that and the lack of interesting things you can do in the game, it's going to take the number 4 spot. The only reason that it's above Aperiphobia, in my opinion, is it's just less buggy. Lightbulb reillumination is going to take the number 3 spot. This game is extremely underrated and it needs to be more appreciated. It definitely deserves more praise for the amount of work that went into it. It's basically about you being trapped in a seemingly endless maze, like a lot of games. But it's a bit different, because there's a monster that lives in the halls, and it only attacks when lights are turned off, and that's kind of the whole gimmick of it. And if you get caught in a room with the lights are turned off, it will kill you, as the game likes to call it. Throughout the entire game, it tries to trap you and basically forces you to either hide in vents or lockers, or just straight up die. Very soon in the game, the player can find signs of other people also in the game as well, or in the maze. My bad. From journal entries to just some guy randomly calling you on a landline that just happens to be there, it's a bit weird. Also, this game does have voice acting in it, which is really cool because you don't see a lot of horror games, like not even in Roblox, that have voice acting in it. And it's really easy to see why, because, well, voice acting is extremely hard to get your hands on because you have to get the person and then you have to pay for that person. So it's really nice to see in this game. Also, just like all maze games, this game is extremely boring just to get wandering around throughout the map and just waiting for the next scene or the next jump scare to occur. But when you're in rooms where the lights are flickering, they're just waiting to go off so that you can be attacked. Really just drives the uneasiness and suspense of this game. For the whole first part, you don't even know what the enemy looks like, which makes being in the dark that much scarier. And even in a death scene, you can't see what the enemy looks like. It's just a terrifying sound effect right before you die. Number 2. It Lurks is one of the more popular Roblox horror games, and it's really easy to see why. In fact, there's no indication that this game is a horror game whatsoever, unless, you look at the title or the description or whatever. But all the description tells you is that it's a single-player horror game from the description. Well, It Lurks is about a child, probably, that is having strange hallucinations and dreams over the time they're either asleep or awake. And during these sequences, very weird things start to happen, like tall twitching rats will rush after you, or you will be transported to a watchtower where an unknowing entity will talk to you through a radio. But anyway, this game is pretty scary from all the uneasy things that it shows you, like government messages appearing on your TV telling you to stay away from entrances and keep away from moving objects. And the entire game doesn't have a soundtrack whatsoever, which adds to the uneasiness and suspense of the game. In all of the dream sequences, the player will be forced to turn around in a dark room just to turn on a light switch. This light switch gives the suspense every single time you enter a new room, because there might be something behind you when you turn around. And if you don't know what I mean, you better play this game. All of the games will be in the link in the descriptions. They will have links. The links of the games will be in the description. Gosh, I can't English today. It Lurks' existence just proves that you don't need a good-looking game to make a scary game. But just like all of these, you will be spending your time wandering through rooms just waiting for the next jump scare to happen. So thank goodness that we have Number 1, Dead Silence. Dead Silence is a game that every Roblox horror game should aspire to be, no matter what. Even though this game has only one chapter so far, it brings so much to the table of Roblox horror. The table. This game starts off with you being dropped off into a sewer with the intention of looking into the mystery of Mary S. This big whole cultish thing, sacrifices, yada yada yada. All of the good stuff. Though, throughout this game, you will be traversing through abandoned prisons and buildings, discovering clues along the way. This game has been nominated the #1 scariest game in Roblox, and it's not hard to see why. I only got this information from the description, and hopefully it's true. This game has some of the best graphics of any Roblox game I've ever played, and has some of the scariest moments of any Roblox game I've ever played. This game is also multiplayer, which means you can play with your friends, and Roblox is always better with friends, in my opinion. This game has really cool level design with props fitting every single area you traverse. And with all of the structures around you, it really creates that uneasy atmosphere that really needs to hit home with any good Roblox horror game. And the plus is that the game doesn't ask anything of you. It doesn't ask for a stupid flashlight game pass. All of it asks of you is that you just play it and enjoy it. And oh my gosh, did I enjoy it. So if you haven't played Dead Silence before, or any Roblox horror game at all, I do recommend this one as your first pick, because this game really sets the bar for what a good Roblox horror game should look like. And with a platform like Roblox, it's honestly amazing that people could create things like this in 2011. Well, yes, the game got updated 5 days ago, but come on, I bet this game was insane back in 2011. People were crapping bricks out there. So thank you, Dead Silence, for pioneering Roblox horror as a whole. We are very grateful to you. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. If you really enjoyed this, and hopefully you did, please like and subscribe. And if you have any horror games that you didn't want, or if you had a different tier list or a different top 5, please let me know in the comments. And I'm sorry if my Roblox game that you probably love, that's a horror game, isn't on here, because there are a lot. I've played a lot of horror games on here, but a lot of them were too small to put on here, or just like too minuscule. So if you have one, please leave it in the comment section below. If you do one that I haven't played, I'm sorry, I just really couldn't get to it. I will play it though, because I play a lot of Roblox horror games. I play a lot of Roblox in general. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.